Hey there, internet friend. How you doing? This is MagicBrad with a MagicBrad moment. I'm not outside today. I'm just kind of hanging around in the living room. And I was reading, this is going to be backwards, Minnesota Business Magazine. I know it's backwards. And I was reading about Alexa and technology. I know it's backwards. That's part of technology. It's backwards. So it got me thinking about, this isn't really so much a marketing thing, but it is a marketing thing, but it's actually about how we're communicating these days and how I think everybody's coming up with these new technologies, and it's getting to be more and more of a challenge to know where people are on these technologies, because we're not using the telephone like we used to use the telephone and call up people so much. We still do, but it's just not as common. People let things roll into voicemail when they see a certain person calling. They don't necessarily pick it up and listen because they kind of hang out. Hey, Mark. So, talking about technology and how we're interacting. Because you remember those codes, those square codes, the QR codes? For a while, that was important. People were going to scan that and then go to web pages and communicate. And another thing is the apps. Companies seem to have their own app, and that's how people end up communicating. And now there's this Alexa thing coming on, and I'm not sure how many businesses are actually taking advantage of being on the Alexa type network, but it's getting to the point where you're just sitting in your house and you're going, Alexa, where's a good place for a pizza? And if you're not on that network, then Alexa's not going to be able to answer for your business or whatever it might be. But the society is just getting to be that way, where they just ask questions to their phone. They don't necessarily type things in. So even keywords, is this wiggling too much? I'm bouncing around here. Just using like keyword research and stuff, people aren't doing that so much anymore. They're actually talking into their phones or into something like Alexa or Siri and all that kind of stuff. And so that's where it's getting. And if you're not connected with that platform with your business, say your auto body shop, and someone wants to find out, they just had a fender bender, so they say, Alexa, where's a good auto body shop? If you're not on the other end of that, you're not going to get the business. And it's just getting to be more and more like that kind of thing. Like I'm doing this video right now with my phone. I got it set up on my little tripod. I'm communicating to people on Facebook because this is on the Facebook platform. But what about all the other people that might be on LinkedIn, or they might be on Pinterest, or they might be on Instagram, or they might be all these places? So back in the day when I was a kid, I remember when there was 5 channels. I remember when TV was black and white, believe it or not. And there was 4, 5, 9, and 11. And then channel 2 too, also. 4, 5, 9, and 11, that's all you had. You had the Star Tribune and the Pioneer Press, and you had direct mail. You had some magazines. And there wasn't that many platforms, but now there's so many platforms for a business to get their information out there. Even like podcasts, you got your iTunes and then you got Stitcher. So there's 2 different places, and there's multiple others. And what ends up happening is someone that's entrepreneurial in a startup wants to create their own element to this. They create a third, and it gets more and more diffused and more diffused. So I try and get on all of those platforms myself. Granted, I don't have a lot of traffic on YouTube. I don't have a lot of traffic on certain places because I don't spend a lot of time on there. But if you want to spend a little money, you can get paid traffic and you can find people. Like I do some boosts, and I do the boosts, Facebook boosts. I boost in a 25-mile radius of where I live here, and then I try and be in front of a landmark so that the people around here can see the landmark and they can have a familiarity with it so they know who it is. So like say for example, a musician, they're going to be playing at Famous Dave's in Uptown. It might be a good idea for them to grab their guitar and go stand in front of that big Famous Dave sign in the middle of the night and do some video about it and let people know that they're going to be playing there. And that's going to get some of that local recognition. Anyways, I'm rambling on. I know you guys got other things to do on a Tuesday. So who's on here? I can't even see. Ethan and Nick. Wonderful. So I was just talking a little bit about technology and how there's so many different platforms that are happening. Everybody's a marketer these days. They've got some kind of side hustle thing they're doing. Or even if you're not a marketer and you just want to stay connected with your friends and family and things on social media, there's tactics and things to be able to be seen on these platforms, because sometimes they just don't even see you. Like right now, all I can see is I've seen there's been 3 people that have been on here since I've been on. I have no idea if there's more than that or not, but I just saw 3 people, and I don't even know if they're still here because there's no engagement or interaction that's happening. So anyways, I don't know why I said that. Okay, I'm done. I've taken enough of your time. Go do what you got to do. Hey, if you ever want to get connected and go and talk about this kind of stuff, I'm fascinated by how the internet has changed the way life is. Not just social media, but the whole internet. It's just flipped things around. There's even things like apps that don't even need the internet. So it's more of a digital marketing strategy where once you download the app from the internet, you don't need the internet to interact with the app. So it's just a digital strategy. Anyways, enough. Thanks. Bye. MagicBrad. Just Google my name, MagicBrad, one word, and then you can find me. Bye.